what was the most interesting thing about ACC 2013, as per your experience?
That's a really tough question. I think this has really been a tremendous conference this year. I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen so many potentially practice-changing trials. You know, my particular interest is in interventional cardiology and acute coronary syndrome, so I was particularly intrigued by the Champion Phoenix data. You know, I think the Alice Jacobs trial on elective PCI with or without on-site cardiac surgery, that's a huge study, really impactful. So I've been very excited by a lot of data here, and I think that for the people who aren't here, I encourage them to go to the CardioSource website and get a lot of data that's been released, because I think they'll be able to apply it to their practice pretty readily.
Wonderful, great. A couple more questions. Fellows in training, as fellows in training, we are a little anxious at this point in our career, as this is a changing, evolving landscape, and we're a little worried about our jobs, we're a little worried about our future,
Sure.
and there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen in the future with cardiology, with the economic shifts, and
Sure.
What's your view on that?
So I'm going to take a little bit of a philosophical approach here, okay? Because I think it's really important to love what you do and not worry about the economic climate, the policy and the regulatory climate. The reality is, whether you like it or not, you're going to spend most of your life at work. So if you do something that you love, everything else in life will fall into place. Now, the question always comes up from fellows: should I learn coronary and peripheral? Should I learn coronary and structural? Should I learn coronary, peripheral, and structural? And how do I do that in the context of a one-year program? What about going somewhere else for a second year? And I think it's really important for fellows to just take a deep breath. One of the biggest misconceptions about training is that all of your training has to occur during your fellowship. The reality is that part of the reason we become cardiologists is that we want to continue a lifelong learning process. So oftentimes, and this happens to all of us, you'll be out in practice for 10 years, a new technology will come along, and you'll be forced to learn it in practice. So again, it really has to do with do what you love. If you feel like you need to train in structural, but you really don't enjoy the hemodynamics, you don't enjoy taking care of sick patients, that's not something you're going to enjoy doing. So, just to sort of as a take-home message, I would say do what you love and realize that the learning process doesn't end when you finish your fellowship.
So it's learning on the job, basically.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That was my next question, by the way. And one question out of ACC, what did you do besides ACC in San Francisco, as there are a lot of opportunities?
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, I wish I had time to do a lot of different things in San Francisco. It's a great city. It's a great city to have a conference in. The weather actually has been delightful while we've been here. Unfortunately, my schedule's been packed with meetings, but I have had a chance to sample some of the San Francisco restaurants, and I would recommend that everyone does that. Now, the fellows I know have had a lot of experience sampling the San Francisco bars, but I personally have not done that.